For coming out to see us. This is great. Wow, like most of these people were sitting here a half an hour ago. It's great. This is just like a convention where, you know, fantastic. Thanks for coming out and braving the cold to see us. My name is Ben Applegate. I'm one of the editors at Kodansha Comics.
I'm David Yu, also editor at, well, technically Random House, Penguin Random House, but Kodansha Comics.
And we're here tonight to talk about our release schedule for 2015 and announce some new books. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. Actually, last week we thought we were going to get to announce two things. Maybe one thing. Yeah, right. And we got an email from Japan last week, and they said, "Oh no, here's 6 more." So this is possibly going to be our biggest panel of the year now. Kind of out of nowhere, but we have a lot of stuff, a lot of exciting stuff planned for the coming year, and hope you enjoy. So let's get right to it. Our first announcement of the evening is Attack on Titan related. I think we might have a couple of Attack on Titan fans here this evening, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Okay, alright. The Science of Attack on Titan. So this is a prose book with illustrations about the fake science behind Attack on Titan that answers burning questions I know you've wanted answers to, like who would win, Titans or Ultraman? Do Titans use photosynthesis? Etc. It's actually by this guy named Rikao Yanagita, who has written dozens of books in Japan. Getting some feedback on that. Who's written dozens of books in Japan and describes himself, this is true, as the executive director of the Fantasy Science Institute. Not a real thing. So it's going to be a hoot. We're looking forward to working on it, and it's coming in June. So actually, I've already been working on it for some time. Our next announcement of the evening is Attack on Titan Colossal Edition 2. You've got it back there? All right, great. Thank you very much. We got a great response from Colossal Edition 1, which was this massive omnibus that we put out last year containing volumes 1 through 5 of the main Attack on Titan series. That was 944 pages long, 7.5 by 10 inches, like this big. It was a massive, massive book, like 5 pounds per copy, on upgraded paper with color pages and with some extras in it as well. And that was a big success. So this year we're going to keep that up and do a second edition, also with 5 volumes, volumes 6 to 10 in this case. No color pages because there weren't any color pages in these volumes. But to make up for it, we're dropping the price to $49.99 for this book. And that's coming in September.
That's also not what the cover will look like. We'll have something fresh.
This is the cover for Volume 7. It'll be a cover that will fit with the first Colossal Edition on the shelf. Okay, this is our first sort of new material announcement of the evening. Maria the Virgin Witch exhibition. I hear somebody up here who knows the series. Thanks very much. The Maria the Virgin Witch anime just started days ago on Funimation.com, which is streaming it. We're going to be publishing the manga starting next month, and the actual main manga is only 3 volumes long. This is a sequel volume that we hadn't announced the license to yet, so we're going to be picking that up as well. That's coming in August. Our fourth announcement. Are there any Fairy Tail fans here, maybe?
Sure. Yeah.
Alright, we've licensed Fairy Girls, which is a spin-off to Fairy Tail that follows the adventures of the female members of the guild. So Urza, Lucy, Wendy, and Juvia mainly, although others obviously make appearances. This is with art by Boku, and it joins Fairy Tail Blue Mistral, which is also a spin-off that we've licensed. Those are both coming out in late summer, early fall of this year. So this is going to be fun. This series has a really unique art style too, so it's going to be good. All right, and coming up, this is our first new series announcement of the evening. If anyone follows us on Tumblr, this is the one I kept hinting at very poorly. Nobody ended up getting it, so oh well. Die Vergelder. This is a new action series by the creator of Blade of the Immortal, which is a classic seinen action series. I see employees of the bookstore nodding in the back there. All right, excellent. This is about 3 female killers who mount a personal war over unpaid debts. And the title is actually German. The German word Wehrgeld means the payment that a killer pays, or a thief pays to the victim's family as restitution. So this is a really gory action series. The art is unbelievably fantastic. And it reminds me of, I mean, I think you can tell from the cover, but it reminds me of like a really good old classic exploitation movie. So we're super excited about this one, and we'll be starting it in fall 2015. Our second new series announcement of the evening is Living Stone. This has art by Jinsei Kataoka, who's the artist of Dead Man Wonderland. If anyone's familiar with that, that's been a big hit. This is about 2 men who comb the world trying to save people who are about to die an unnatural death. So if you're not actually fated to die, your death is actually qualitatively different from people who are dying at their appointed time. This is something that they've figured out in the series. And if they can't save the person's life, they at least try to recover the living stone, which is the receptacle of the soul. This is based off the idea that the body lightens at the moment of death, and that weight difference is the soul leaving the body. That's sort of the jumping off point for the manga, if anyone's familiar with that. So this will also be starting in fall 2015. The covers are really, really cool for this series. I think I chose a really cool one, but all of them are great. Okay, next up we have a one-shot. Are there any Shiro Masamune fans in here? Ghost in the Shell? All right, this is actually an entry in the Appleseed series that I'm excited to get to work on. Appleseed Alpha. This is the manga version of the prequel film that came out last year from Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. And it's just going to be 1 volume, and it's from the creator of Sexy Voice and Robo, which, if there are any really huge manga nerds in here, was a cult favorite manga that came out from Viz here a long time ago. So this is a great artist's adaptation of another great artist's work, and I'm very excited to be working on it. That'll be coming in the summer. This is our last announcement of the evening, Kiss Him Not Me, or otherwise known as Watashi ga Motate Dousenda. I hear a lot of chattering in the crowd. I assume some of you have read this on Crunchyroll Manga. This is about a secret Fujoshi who pairs her classmates up with each other, but when she wakes up one morning having endured stress-related sudden weight loss due to the death of a character she adores, she finds herself suddenly popular, which is the opposite of what she wanted to have happen. And hilarity ensues. So this is going to be a fun one, and this also starts in fall. Most of the stuff is starting in fall, because if we announced it any later, it would get sent out in our system, and you'd see it on Amazon before we had a chance to announce it. So this is our last chance to make an exciting event around this stuff. So that's our final announcement of the evening. And now I guess we'll go into talking about the other series we have planned for 2015. First of all, Your Lie in April. This is a hit anime that's currently streaming on Crunchyroll about classical music, but only as a structure to hang this story about loss and complicated parental relationships and romance and all this stuff on. It's about a boy who's driven to give up the piano by his mother dying, and how meeting a violinist kind of brings color back into his life. Volume 1 is coming in April.
Thanks to Ben working really hard so it would come out in April.
As a joke. Yeah. Oh well.
But it's
a spare time.
It's having a parent hammer the joy out of something that you might love out of you, and then maybe rediscovering that joy when somebody else introduces it to you in a different way.
Yeah, and if anyone's watching the anime, you know that it's really well put together, so we're excited to do the manga as well. Tsubasa World Chronicle. We're starting that in October. This is a spin-off of Tsubasa, which we're currently issuing in omnibus format.
It's actually picking up where Hologray leaves off, with its very strange and sometimes difficult to comprehend story. This will try to wrap things up for real, I think.
So if you're a Clamp fan and you're reading Holocray, this is one to pick up. Fairy Tale Blue Mistral is one I mentioned earlier. This is a spin-off featuring Wendy. It's a prequel. It's super, super adorable, and it's coming in August. LDK, this is one we announced at New York Comic Con last year. This is a more mature shoujo title about a boy and a girl who don't get along and end up living together through a series of mishaps. And this is a special favorite of our liaison from Kodansha here, Kana. So she's really excited to see this come out, and we're excited too, especially since Say I Love You and My Little Monster have done really well for us, and this is a similar title. So.
And for those who don't know, LDK actually stands for living room, dining room, kitchen. It's how realtors in Japan describe like apartments or homes that you're potentially looking to rent or buy.
Right. I know that for New Yorkers, that's a hard concept to grasp.
Because your living room, dining room, and kitchen is the same room usually.
Right. And sometimes also your bedroom, but yeah. Inuyashiki. This is from the creator of Gantz, Hiroyo Oku, and we're starting this in August. This is a really cool science fiction action title, and really anything else that we said to you would be a spoiler. But trust us, it's amazing. By the end of the first volume, you'll be totally 100% on board. It has a dog in it. I could say that. A dog and an old man.
In the title.
Yeah. But this is one that sci-fi action manga fans will want to check out.
It is not anything like Inuyasha.
No, not so much. No. Let's Dance a Waltz. This is one that David's been working on, so let him talk about it.
It's a story about a kid whose mother runs a ballroom dance studio, and he's actually quite good at dancing, but doesn't want anybody to know because he thinks that's going to ruin his street cred in high school. And it's also about a girl who is a little bit homely, and yet she finds some inner beauty and strength by learning how to do some ballroom dance. It's just a really nice story, kind of a coming-of-age sort of thing, and it's funny and it's fun, and you don't have to know a thing about ballroom dance to enjoy it. It's, in a way, I mean, it's kind of like Shall We Dance in that the way people look at dancing and ballroom dancing is kind of like an embarrassing thing when it's actually pretty cool. And if, I don't know about you guys, but being able to dance well is a big hit with the ladies, as far as my life experience goes. So I don't know why people look at it that way, but it's just a fun look at dancing through the eyes of teenagers.
And unlike the artist's previous title, Arisa, no one slips into a coma in the first
There's
chapter.
no suicide attempts. It's not, This is just really nice. You feel good after reading it.
Right,
You don't feel like
right.
you need to wash your hands or anything.
Right. She seems to have gotten that out of her system. So. And that's starting in April as well. Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. I could have put our actual cover on here. I forgot to swap that out, but oh well. I see some people fanning themselves. This is one that we've been asked about probably more than almost any other title, and we will be printing it in March. So this is a fun one from a former assistant to Hiro Mashima in Fairy Tail, actually. So good to see his assistants moving up in the world. I spoke a little bit about Marie and the Virgin Witch earlier, so I won't spend too much time on this, but you can watch the anime now. This is a really, really cool one.